The people of the lie and the origin of evil. How innocent children grow up to be evil, narcissistic adults. This is a review of Scott Peck's book titled People of the Lie. I'll mainly be focusing on Chapter 2, Towards a Psychology of Evil, under the section Bobby and His Parents. It is interesting how innocent children grow up to be cold, cruel, and chaotic. Perhaps the origin of most neuroses, psychological disorders, and true evil derives from bad things that happen in childhood. Hence, this highlights the importance of the psychodynamic tradition in trying to correct for psychological illnesses by bringing down defense mechanisms and rectifying past wrongs. Page 66 of People of the Lie. To children, even adolescents, their parents are like gods. The way their parents do things seem the way they should be done. Children are seldom able to objectively compare their parents to other parents. They are not able to make realistic assessments of their parents' behavior. Treated badly by its parents, a child will usually assume that it is bad. If treated as an ugly, stupid, second-class citizen, it will grow up with an image of itself as ugly, stupid, and second-class. Raised without love, children come to believe themselves unlovable. We may express this as a general law of child development. Whenever there is a major deficit in parental love, the child will, in all likelihood, respond to that deficit by assuming itself to be the cause of the deficit, thereby developing an unrealistic negative self-image. Evil tends to derive from parents who transmit their neuroses down to their offspring. Although it is a subjective and moral word, psychology must study the real effects evil has on degrading, dehumanizing, and depreciating the worth of people to that of mere utility. Individuals with psychopathic and sociopathic tendencies do not, in themselves, lack morality, for they are quite capable of appearing and showing it to their close family or friends, but they can turn off that power at will, whomever they choose, and see no fault in doing so. This doesn't mean or logically follow that morality doesn't exist or is relative, as some would claim, but rather humans are crafty and narcissistic creatures whom would place their own benefit at the expense of others. We are too limited by our perceptions, just like that of the child, who is gullible to whatever our parents tell us in early life, or what culture, government, and society dictates after. As you can see, perhaps it is the lack of love, the lack of being unselfish, of not thinking about oneself, of being unconditional with others, accepting of others. If we were to accept others and let go of the ego, perhaps things would be better. But I digress. Page 68. First of all, adolescents are the most private people. They are not apt to confide the inner workings of their minds to anyone, much less a strange, frightening, white-coated adult. But even if he had been willing and able to confide in me, Bobby still would not have been able to tell me such things, for his own awareness of them would have been dim indeed. When we are adults, the greater part of our thought life proceeds on an unconscious level. For children and young adolescents, almost all mental activity is unconscious. They feel, they conclude, and they act with precious little awareness of what they are about. So we must deduce from their behavior what is going on. Yet we have learned enough to know that such deductions can be remarkably accurate. Adolescents develop a need for intimacy and belonging and will read their parents, peer group, surrounding environment, and society to try and grasp what may be the right thing to do in the situation. In the case of Bobby, he survived a suicide attempt which was stupidly provoked by his dim-witted parents, who had given him a gun as a Christmas present, and which was the same gun used by his brother to commit suicide. There is an unconscious that dictates people's lives, and since it is unconscious, people tend to remain unreflective and uncritical of the things and trends and ways of upbringing, believing what their parents raised them to do and become are the right ways, even if these ways themselves are pathological and stupid. Perspective and wisdom is needed to ward off evil, as it could influence individuals unconsciously. Page 69. When a child is grossly confronted by significant evil in its parents, it will most likely misinterpret the situation and believe that the evil resides in itself. The child is a sponge and learns about evil from their parents. They are not just a brain for input, since they pick up on behaviors, mannerisms, attitude, etc., which then manifests as output, leading to real-world problems of narcissism, bullying and harassment, dehumanization and polarization of those that one disagrees with, and eventually culminating in the worst acts and atrocities known to man that lead to injustice, injury, and death. Therefore, it is important that children are properly parented with a strong sense of morality, as well as adequate critical reflection of self and moral reasoning to literally keep evil at bay, temptation on hold, and humanity and society afloat. So yeah, those are my reflections on the passage from this book. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.